battle between the two bottom sides in the league. Both of them are looking for their first win of the season. That is on the line here. It is set to be a pretty good game here. You look at the both sides. We get started here right before kickoff. We will look first at Ballincollig. Now, starting with Ballincollig here in the back three. Heather Kennedy's at fullback, Sinead O'Reilly and Alison Kelly are on the wings. Megan Kenny and Michelle O'Driscoll in midfield. At halfback, Mona Fehley and Jane Pennyfather. Up front, they have Rosine Ormond, Clodagh Walsh, captains aside at hooker, Claire Coombs at tight head prop. In the second row, Gillian Coombs and Denise Redmond. And rounding out the back row, we have Emer Perryman, Kira Fitzgerald and Tiara Siguenza. On the bench today for Ballincollig, they have Annie Laffin, Orla Ray, Lorelei Baker, Sarah O'Donovan, Quaileen Healy, Michelle Stafford and Ellen O'Keefe. And they're coached by Fiona Hayes this evening here in Ballincollig. And on to Cooke. Starting at fullback, we have Tia Maguire. On the wings, we have Megan Edwards and Tamsin Boyce. In midfield for Cooke today, we have Kelly McCormill and Christy Hill. At halfback, Hannah Downey and Amanda Morton. Up front, Eels Van Staden, Fiona McCann and Aisling O'Connell. In the second row, they have Gemma McCamley and Helen McGee. And in the back row, Sive McGrath, Stacey Sloan and Chloe McCarran. So we're almost set to go here in Tanner Park. The replacement bench for Cooke is Katie McNeil, Georgia Boyce, Beth McCamley, Dolores Hughes and Lauren Pedlow. So thank you for joining us here on this stream. And we're almost ready to go here. One of the challenges in these games, when you're looking at it from a competitive standpoint from both sides, is both sides have had a tough season. You look at the standard of rugby in this Energy Division 1 so far this year, and you've got a lot of quality, especially up around the top four. You've got Blackrock, you have Railway, really good sides, filled with Irish internationals in some cases. So both these sides have found it tough going, but they both have an opportunity here in a wet and windy Tanner Park in Ballincollig to get a win on the board, and that's on the line for both sides here. So with that in mind, I think there is a little bit of pressure here. Both sides looking to try and get off and get a win on the board for the season, and try and look to build on something ahead of the AIL Cup coming up in a few weeks. Ballincollig this season have been a little bit unlucky, I feel, with some of their results. They've performed well, especially away against some of the bigger teams, and when you look at Cooke as well, I think they've had similar issues on the road. They've played some very tough opposition. There really hasn't been any easy games so far in this year's AIL, and I think that both sides here will be aware that this is a huge opportunity. So we're getting very close to kick-off here in Tanner Park. The conditions are looking pretty difficult here. There's a bit of wind and there's a lot of rain as well. That will put a little bit of pressure on set piece. It'll put a little pressure on the handling of the back lines of both sides as well. So looking at this, I think that both sides might be looking to try and keep this tight early on. We may be seeing tactical kicking, and I think the side who kicks best in this game will probably be the one who comes out on top. But we will be waiting, seeing how we go here. They're getting their photos out of the way, and you can see Ballincollig in the background are getting ready. We're very close to kick off here. Of course, in weather conditions like this, it does put a lot of pressure on the physicality of both sides. You imagine there's going to be a lot of scrummaging. You imagine there's going to be a lot of lineouts. Whoever is the bigger physical team, I think, will have a real advantage here. And I think once this game gets underway, the first couple of scrums, the first couple of physical engagements, I think will be really interesting to see who can come out on top here. We've got a few latecomers running into the group photograph here, showing good pace getting across. That's what we like to see. Anyway, with the other games going on in the Energy AIL this week, we are again, focusing on this one and the pressure that might be on both sides as they are looking to try and get that first win of the season on the board in the last round of the regular season. So that is going to be interesting. See who can pull that off. And the referee looks to be coming in here. Both sides getting ready for kickoff. And it looks like Ballincollig will be kicking from right to left as you watch it here. Jane Pennefather will be starting us off here. So here we go. Ballincollig versus Cooke.
Let's go! Side on! Side on! If you need to, side on! Let's go, Cooke! Let's go, Cooke!
Almost ready to go here. Referee just checking his boots, checking his whistle, getting ready to go. Referee is ready. And we're off. Pennefather kicking this deep into the Cooke half. And again, I think we're seeing early on there that conditions are a little slippy out there, but that's a really good carry. She's after breaking through here, and she's into the Ballincollig half. A really good run there. And she knocks the ball on, unfortunately. That is going to be a feature in this game. Really, really good carry there by Sive McGrath off that kick-off. And a long kick downfield by Ballincollig, looking for territory here. You can see conditions are going to be a little bit difficult here. The ground looks a little heavy, and handling is going to be tough for both sides. And here we go, carrying it in. That's a good tackle. That's a good tackle on the wing there by Tamsin Boyce. But Ballincollig retain possession, and they're setting a platform here just inside their own 10-metre line. And another really good shot there by Cooke. And Ballincollig looking to try and get out of their own half here, and that's a difficult pass. We can see there the conditions are already playing havoc with some of the passing from both sides. But we have a turnover here now for Ballincollig, and that's for Cooke, and that's another really good carry there by Sive McGrath. Directly into contact. Tia Maguire, nice inside ball, but another knock on there again. And I think we're going to be seeing this a fair bit in the game here, especially early on here. The weather conditions are very, very difficult. There's a breeze. The rain has been coming down consistently all day. This is going to be a tough one for both sides. And now we've got a really interesting situation here, the first scrum. Now, I think that we'll be looking at a fair number of scrums in this game based on the conditions. So whoever can get on board here early is going to have a real impact here. Both packs here are going to want to make a statement early on. You get the feeling on weather conditions like this that whoever gets ascendancy here will go a long way to winning this game. That's a really good scrum by Cooke, and they break off the back. Hitting that again to Kelly McCormill. Good carry again, and she's just outside the Ballincollig 22. And both sides struggling again there in the rain, and we've got a turnover here, and that is Roisin Orman making a good little charge there. Opportunity here now for Ballincollig. That's a real slugfest there at the breakdown, and referee has blown it up here, and we're going to go back for another scrum. That was a really good scrum there from Cooke. Again, handling conditions very, very difficult. So we're going to be seeing a lot of scrums here, and I think that Cooke will be happy enough with their start at the start of that scrum. Got a good nudge up on the loose head side. For Ballincollig now, this is a decent launch point. I'd imagine from here they're going to look to try to kick this downfield and get some territory. They are playing into the wind at the moment, as much as we can see here. So we have 3 minutes gone on the clock. It's still 0-0 here in Tanner Park. Real pressure coming on there on that loose head side from Cooke. Under real pressure, the tight head side there of Ballincollig. So they don't want to concede a penalty here. Looking to exit. You can see a lot of pressure coming through from that loose head side. Not just on the from the props. We're talking about the locks are getting a really good drive through there on that loose head side, and the flankers as well. So there's a bit of a pressure moment here from Ballincollig, and they're under real pressure there from Cooke, who are driving right through. What a scrum that is from Cooke, and they're away. Tiara Siguenza gets that ball wide. Oh, there's a huge opportunity here for Cooke. That's a good carry. And it's a penalty to Cooke. Really good scrummaging there, and that is a massive statement so early on in this game, where Cooke have basically laid down a marker there and put real pressure on any handling error going forward from Ballincollig. They've got to really make a stand there in that scrum going forward, and Cooke have gone down the line. Huge opportunity here. A line out just inside the 22, I would say. So, will that scrum dominance, will that carry over to the maul? We will soon see. Given the weather conditions as well, I mean, one of the first things that become difficult when there's a bit of a breeze, it's a bit unpredictable, but the weather conditions are so heavy, it does put a bit of pressure on the hooker's throw, and it puts a bit of pressure on the transfer of the ball from the top as well. So it'll be interesting to see if Ballincollig can get up here and disrupt. They do try, and they do get a disrupt on that line out, and it's a really important turnover you feel there for Ballincollig, who have a chance here to exit. Coming up on 5 minutes gone there, and that's a really big defensive play from Ballincollig. They look to try to break out there through Ciara Fitzgerald. Good carry, and a pressure kick there, and it's just gone. And is it back in field? They've kept it in field, and that's Ballincollig again. And they're just put out a touch just inside the 22. That was a really difficult moment there for Ballincollig as they try to exit. Conditions again very, very difficult, and Cooke haven't really lost much ground, but you can see there how difficult it is for Yves van Staden to make that throw in. It's going to be very, very difficult. Both sides are going to fancy their chances in the air here against each other. So this is going to be an interesting one to see if Van Staden can land this one and if Cooke can get this one down. It's an early jump there from Ballincollig, and it looks like there's a free kick there to Cooke, and they're going to look to try and tap and go here quite quickly. Little surprised they didn't go for the scrum there, given their dominance early on, but that's a big carry, and they're getting closer here to that Ballincollig try line. They look to try and go for the poach, but they don't get it. Ballincollig have it here, or Cooke have it here, and it's another knock on there. In contact again. That's going to be a feature of this game with the damp conditions that we have here in Tanner Park. So Ballincollig with an opportunity here to exit, and they get a much better clearance there, and it is just outside the line of the 22 again. So there's some real pressure here from Cooke. They have had the majority of the territory in this game so far. Ballincollig conceded a free kick there in that last line out, went a little bit early on their jump, but you can see there, you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to disrupt that throw in. They're trying to make it as difficult as possible for Van Staden to hit Helen McGee in that middle of the line out. So it's going to be interesting to see if Ballincollig can keep up that disruption of the line out, and if Cooke can make a recovery here and try and get their maul going, which, if their scrum is anything to go by, could well be a dangerous situation for Ballincollig. Here's Van Staden. That's a very good throw, and Cooke are going. That is with Stacey Sloan there. That's a really good carry again. Good breakdown work there from Cooke, and they're looking to try and get that ball wide. Kelly McCormick again, another good carry there. Solid defence from Ballincollig so far though, and it looks like there might be space here on the edge, and that's another difficult pass there, and Ballincollig have kicked that one through. We have a bit of a chase going on here. Good recovery from Cooke. Have we a breakdown penalty there? Really good work there from Heather Kennedy. Really good poach under pressure. That's really good defence from Ballincollig. Bit of a scrag pass from Cooke. Ballincollig were able to get that ball down the field, and they've won a really good penalty here just inside the Cooke half. So can Ballincollig lift the siege here a little bit and start putting a bit of pressure on Cooke? It's a decent kick down the line there by Jane Pennefather. So it'll be interesting to see if Ballincollig can get this one down. Cooke, we saw earlier, had a little bit of trouble getting their line out going. Will Cooke look to try and do the same here to Ballincollig? They have it down, bit of a spill, but they've retained that at the back. That is with Denise Redmond, and it's gone down there. That's solid defence in the maul from Cooke, but an opportunity here from Ballincollig to spread that into midfield. Michelle O'Driscoll gets that pass away, but it's just been knocked on. Cooke recover, and it's a scrum to Ballincollig. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here. This would be a good opportunity for Ballincollig to launch from, but you look at some of the issues that they've had in the scrum early on. Might not be as obvious a decision as you might think, but they're going to go here, get this down, and try to improve. They've had some trouble on their tight head side under big pressure, big pressure from Van Staden on that Cooke loose head side. But we're going to see if they can lock this one out and start getting an attacking platform of their own here. Just outsets and more big pressure coming through there from Cooke, and they've turned that one over against the head. Really good scrummaging from Cooke. Absolutely outstanding. That's a really good scrum penalty there. Van Staden, she is putting so much pressure on that Ballincollig loose head side there. Really, really good scrummaging. And in these conditions, that's a big early statement from Cooke again, who's shown a lot of dominance in that area of the game so far. Tia Maguire gets that ball just inside the Ballincollig half. It's difficult to tell who has the wind here in the first half. It seems to be swirling around, but Cooke looked to have a little bit of advantage there. Now typically you would look to see the Cooke looking to kick a little bit longer here in this situation, but I think with the weather conditions they're going to try and maul this, maybe keep this tight and see how they go. But getting this down will be another question again. Van Staden, who's had a huge game so far for Cooke, has a big opportunity here just to nail this down. But you look at Ballincollig, they've competed well at the line out so far. Oh, they've gone very, very close there. It's a good take in the middle by Helen McGee, and Cooke are rolling here again. Another really good carry in midfield, but strong pressure at the breakdown. That's a huge breakdown penalty. What a breakdown penalty from Ciara Fitzgerald. Outstanding work in the post there, and she's off. Ballincollig look to try and get some pace into the game here again, and when in these heavy conditions, it's going to be, has that been turned over? Oh, just about recovered by Ballincollig. A real slugfest going on at the breakdown here between both sides. Michelle O'Driscoll looking to try and pressure again here, getting into the wider channels. Ballincollig have stretched Cooke a little bit here. There's opportunities, you feel. A big carry there again from Tiara Siguenza. Both sides going really hard at that defensive breakdown as well. They can sense opportunities here in the conditions, and that's an unfortunate knock-on, but I think we have a penalty coming here. And will Ballincollig look to take advantage here? That's Michelle O'Driscoll again, looking busy in these early going, and Ballincollig are still playing, getting their hands going. That's a good kick downfield there. Good idea in the conditions, and a really good volley up the field there from Tia Maguire there from Cooke. Really good stuff there, but Ballincollig here can attack on transition. Can they find space? Good tackling again though from Cooke. Again, really, really tight game here. Ballincollig have looked dangerous on transition, looked good on phase play, but the set piece power of Cooke has been really, really standing out so far. And that's Van Staden again. What a turnover! And they're away. We have a referee's whistle there, I think, for an injury. Van Staden has had such an impact on this game so far. Really, really impressive stuff from her. Line out throwing, scrummaging, really, really good. That was a fantastic volley here. We're just going to have a look at this again. Bang! Very, very nicely done. And you know what? Quite difficult when you look at the conditions as well. And it worked. Got some good territory there for Cooke, but we have an injury here. So we're around 12 minutes in. One of the features of the game so far, I think we can't look beyond the conditions. It's been quite difficult for both sides to stitch some phases together. But we're talking about a very wet ball. There's rain spattering down as well. They found it tough to kind of get any kind of coherent phases together so far, but you can see there on some of those transitions and some of those opportunities that they've had, there are opportunities out there for both sides. So it looks like that's Heather Kennedy who's down there, but we're going to wait and see. Fiona Hayes coming on there with some advice. She's looking at, that's scrummaging advice right there. She's looking to try and get some tips across to That is Claire Coombs there, who's coming under a lot of pressure from Van Staden. Like typically you look on your loose head side of the scrum, your loose head's always looking to try and get up and try and generate height. For Claire Coombs, she's going to have to try to lock out that scrum, get low and keep Van Staden out of the game. Because again, we've got another scrum here right now, and if we look at the pattern of the last couple of scrums, this is definitely an opportunity here for Cooke. So for Ballincollig, especially here when you look at that loose head side, this is a big battle going on here between Van Staden and Coombs. So we're going to have to wait here for this injury check to be completed. But there is a big opportunity here now, and I think when you look at Cooke here, when you look at how strong their scrum has been so far early on, I think there's a kind of an advantage there where if you're Cooke, you're thinking, you know, maybe we want to kick the ball a little bit more. Maybe we just want to put that ball into the backfield and allow Ballincollig to play down there in these conditions. Again, I think there's an element of kick pressure could work in these conditions, especially when your scrum is as dominant as it has been. Put that onus back on Ballincollig, and I think from Ballincollig's perspective here, I think they've shown in the early going that there might be some value in their own kicking game as well. Perhaps lengthening the game a little bit out and bringing their kicking game in. I think that Pennefather has actually she's kicked quite well so far. I think if you look at Heather Kennedy as well, she's coming back from an injury check here now. I presume she'll be okay. If Ballincollig can kind of get a bit of length on the game, I think there's opportunities there for them too, because some of the transition work that we've seen from them has looked pretty good. And again, in the conditions, I think this is going to be quite a tight tactical battle. I think we've seen early on where both sides have a bit of an advantage. And here we go, locking on for another scrum here. Keep an eye on the far side there in red, number 1. Van Staden has been the dominant player of this game so far inside the first 15 minutes. For Coombs here, she's got to try and keep herself low here and keep Van Staden out of the game if she can. But Cooke are really putting pressure on there, and that's actually much better from Coombs there. She held out Van Staden, and a good kick downfield there from Cooke, who are putting that territorial pressure on. And we have here Heather Kennedy in the backfield. She gets away from that tackler, and she's away on transition. This is a really good run here. Makes it out over 22. That's really good work on transition there from Ballincollig, who are looking to exit here. And another nice tip on pass there. Good collisions as well. Good defence though as well from Aisling O'Connell. Ballincollig here, we're looking to try and get some phases together. There's an element of risk in these conditions, but Ballincollig are going to try and get that ball up the field as best they can. They've done that there. And again, we're on transition now for Cooke, and that is with Helen McGee there on a really charging run there. She finds herself on the wing on that kick transition, and do you know what, this isn't actually that bad a position at all for Ballincollig to be in, and that's a good tackle there. That's a 2-woman tackle there, getting her out of the field. And you know, if you're Cooke, you're happy enough to have Ballincollig down here at the moment. There's a really strong wind in your favour, and that's a knock on in the line out there. So Cooke's kicking game really showing up so far. There was a good option off that scrum earlier, and now they have another scrum just on the line of the 22 here. This is a dangerous position for Cooke. Ballincollig did much better on that last scrum though, and again we're looking at that battle again here. Van Staden versus Coombs. It's never just as simple as, you know, one prop versus one prop, but that looks to be the main flashpoint of this game so far. Can Coombs keep Van Staden out of this scrum again? That's the question. Here come Cooke. That's a big shove by Cooke there again, and they're off, and Cooke are breaking. That is with Sinead O'Reilly making a tackle in the wide channel, and I think that's not a knock on there, so Cooke still have possession, and it's another knock on there. We have a penalty, not rolling away. So good work off that scrum there by Cooke. Kelly McCormill and Christy Hill linking up quite well there, but I thought Tamsin Boyce, her work in off the wing there was actually quite good. Looked to try and build attacking layers, and no surprise to see Cooke going for the scrum again. This has been the dominant area of the game so far. Cooke definitely on top so far, but I think looking at Coombs here again, this is another big opportunity for her and for her lock behind her to make a statement here, to lock out this scrum early and prevent any further penalties. Big opportunity here though, good position for Cooke who have the win, but there's one other big shove there coming from Van Staden. And Amanda Morton there kicks that ball ahead. It's a knock on. But again, when you're playing with this territory, if you're Cooke and you have this dominance in the scrum, you're happy enough playing here. So for Ballincollig, they have to get out of this position now. They have to lock out this scrum and get that ball down the field. But you can see with the flags there in the background just how difficult that breeze is. So again, for Ballincollig, I mean, 19 minutes in, to have the scoreboard still at 0-0 when they've had such a rough time in the scrum and they're playing into this strong wind, they'll be quite happy with that so far. We've got some issue now on the Ballincollig loosehead side here. Aisling O'Connell there for Cooke. She's more or less up against Roisin Ormond. Not that I'm downplaying the role of the hookers here, but looks to be a really strong prop on prop battle on both sides here. Now again, I think with the pressure coming on Van Staden's side, there's a real pressure in Ballincollig that's almost coming across the scrum where the hookers under big pressure straight away, but they've done really, really well to get out there, and that's Tiara Seguenza breaking off the back of that scrum. That's actually really well done by Ballincollig, but they've just let that squeak out the back of the ruck. And they have an opportunity here to clear. And they get that ball just outside the 22. So Ballincollig living on the edge here. They're finding it very, very difficult to get upfield. But the wind is causing a lot of trouble. It's making it difficult for Ballincollig to clear their lines effectively. And that's bringing Cooke's set piece right into this game. The dominant player of this first half, Van Staden, standing at the line here. The typical target has been Helen McGee, and they've gone to Gemma McCamley, but Cooke get that ball back. It is with Hannah Downey. She's looking to try and step. Big carry there again from Aisling O'Connell, and Ballincollig are going hard after that breakdown. They don't get it, and it is with Sive McGrath with another big carry. She's been impressive on ball so far. But we have an assistant referee with a flag out. Never good. I think the story of this game so far, 21 minutes in, has been territory and set piece. The weather has been a dominant factor, but Cooke's scrum has been beyond impressive so far, and I think Ballincollig have been doing well not to concede more penalties, given how strong Cooke have been on that loosehead side in particular. It puts a lot of pressure on your hooker to try and get that strike back, especially when you're putting the ball in. And the advantage for the opposition side there, who are on the other side of the put in, is you don't have to worry about striking the ball. You can just go flying in, and referee's going to be talking here. Looks like there's little chat going on here with the Ballincollig captain. So it seems like we have a penalty here to Cooke for a high tackle. So for Cooke here, this is Tia Maguire looking to get this one downfield. She does so. Now I think we've seen here how difficult in the weather conditions. I mean, it's difficult for Ballincollig to exit properly, but it also makes it difficult if there's a kind of a high hanging ball getting into the line out. The wind can take that. It can nudge it a few inches onto the opposition side as well. And so far, I think Cooke have done a good job of getting McGee and McCamley into this game. But Ballincollig will feel that there's something for them here in this line out. Wet ball, they've competed well, and they've been willing to get up into the air as well. So this feels like a big moment 22 minutes into the game. Van Staden lines it up. Really good throw there again. That is taken down by McGee, and a really strong maul coming in here from Cooke. Ballincollig are trying to get a lean on there, but can Cooke get around the corner? They've got good go forward there again. Ballincollig struggling to live with this maul here. But have they got a player in there? Do they have hands around the ball? They do indeed. What a huge turnover for Ballincollig under real pressure there. That was fantastic defensive mauling there from Ballincollig. Cooke seemed to have a lot of momentum, but not sure who got their hands on that there, but that was superb mauling. Cooke got a really good early advantage off that maul, but Ballincollig just stuck in there, didn't give up, and when that opportunity came in to get a hand on, they got it, and they're making a change at tight head, Ballincollig. They're bringing on Orla Ray for Claire Coombs, and that it's been a tough opening 20 minutes for Coombs, and now they're going to look for Ray to have a cut off keeping Van Staden out of the game here. Big moment again in the game, you feel here. 24 minutes in, opportunity for Ballincollig to get this one out, but that's more pressure coming in across the scrum. It's actually after coming out the back. And there's a knock on there, and Cooke are right on the try line here. They've got to execute this moment here. That's Van Staden, another really big carry by her. She has been the dominant player of this game so far. That ball came loose, but it's gone backwards. Cooke still have possession. Ballincollig here heading into last ditch territory, and that's a really good tackle there, and it's offside, or in from the side rather, and offside. So big opportunity here for Cooke, looking to try and keep pace in the game here again. That is Aisling O'Connell there with a big charge into contact. Cooke are camped on the try line here. Sive McGrath with another big carry there again, but that's a huge turnover, a massive turnover by Denise Redmond, who fly hacks that clear. Absolutely outstanding front there from Ballincollig, and they are harrying now. What a last ditch defence that was from Ballincollig, outstanding. Cooke still have possession though and are on transition here. We have an injured player down over there, but she doesn't look to be too bad. That's the Cooke 10. Amanda Morton. Good carry there from Tia Maguire. That was outstanding defence there from Denise Redmond. Really good stuff, and a huge tackle there by Orla Ray. Ballincollig getting into the game defensively here. Huge defensive moments in the last couple of minutes. Cooke are still going here. Hannah Downey wants quick ball, but that's an intercept. That's an intercept by Ballincollig. Mona Fairley. Is she going to make it? She's dodging one. She gets that pass across. Megan Kenny, great tackle again by Cooke. Mona Fairley again gets that ball to Pennefather, and it's just been, has it been knocked on? It's been knocked on. What an opportunity that was for Ballincollig. They will be sick. That was a really, really good moment there. This game has been going back and forth. An intercept there by Fairley, and she's breaking down the field. Cooke trying to get that, get those defenders back there again, but my God, that was a fabulous moment there. This game has been back and forth. No score so far, 26 minutes in, but both sides have had real opportunities. I think you look at Ballincollig there, their defensive work in that last 5-minute spell, outstanding. If they end up winning this game, I think they'll look back on that 5-minute spell as being a core reason why. But if you look here, we've got a scrum which has not gone well for Ballincollig so far. I think looking at where Fiona Hayes, the Ballincollig coach, decided to make that change early. I mean, we're only inside the first 20 minutes. To make that change with Coombs, it happens sometimes where you just end up being under pressure. And they've actually made another switch here where Orla Ray is now scrummaging on the loosehead side. So they have made a switch, and Roisin Ormond is going to have a crack off Van Staden there. And Van Staden again is dominating, but that's really good scrummaging there by Roisin Ormond. Looked like she had... Oh, and there's been a breakthrough here. Stacey Sloan is making a break into the Ballincollig half. That's good defence, and Ballincollig going hard after that breakdown as well. Have they a turnover here? There's a counter ruck. And what a turnover that is for Ballincollig. They have been really, really good in defence here so far. Good carry, good pick and go there by Gillian Coombs. That's a, again, really good breakdown penalty there. That is Sive McGrath. Absolutely fabulous work from her so far. She has been like she is being really dominant in the ball carry, and you look at her there, you look at that breakdown entry, really strong stuff, just outstanding. So we're 28 minutes in, coming up last 10 minutes before half time, and this is on a knife edge here. Tia Maguire is going to look to try and put this one down the line. Gets some decent distance on that as well. It's just halfway between the 10-meter line and the 22. So again, big opportunity here for Cooke, who showed there early on that their maul can go forward. And I think if it wasn't for dogged defence from Ballincollig a couple of minutes ago, they'd probably be looking at being down on the scoreboard right now. And if you're Cooke, you're probably looking at these first half an hour as being quite a frustrating one. They've had a lot of opportunities, they've had a lot of territory, and that's been recovered by Cooke. We've got a big carry coming in here by Fiona McCann, and it's another high tackle. Referee called that early, so again, decent central position here from Cooke. And they're going to go to the scrum. No surprise there. You look at the first 30 minutes, none of that will be a surprise. And we've got the assistant referee wants to have a word here with the ref. I think looking at where we are on the field here, this would seem to be a prime opportunity for this Cooke side, who I think so far, probably looking at their forward dominance at the set piece, would be a little bit disappointed with how the game has gone, but especially with the wind that they've had. I think looking at there's a chat here going on between the ref and the captain, Ballincollig, Clodagh Walsh.
Let's go, Cooke.
So here we go. This feels like a big moment in the game. 30 minutes in. Big opportunity for Cooke, who've been dominant in the scrum so far. Van Staden has been the player of this game so far. And we can see the pressure coming on there again from Cooke, but that looks like decent resistance there. Stacey Sloan, really strong work in defence there again. I think there's another advantage coming here for Cooke. Ballincollig living on the edge a little bit here, discipline-wise. Van Staden gets that there. Nice little offload. Gets it across to Aisling O'Connell. Good carry. That is a nice carry again by Gemma McCanley, and that's an offload. Lovely one to Sive McGrath. She keeps going. She is a powerful runner. I think the referee has already had a few chats with Ballincollig. They can't be too far away here from a card. That's a good carry. Lovely offload. A fantastic carry by Sive McGrath. And another high tackle for Ballincollig. Again, living on the edge here, you feel. And what have Cooke gone for? They've gone for the scrum. And it's a yellow card for Ballincollig as well. So, down to 14 here. 10 minutes to go, right before half time. This is a big opportunity here for Cooke, especially with the scrum being as dominant as it has been. Can they make it count? They're going to be looking here at Stacey Sloan, who's been really impressive off the back of that scrum, and that is going forward again. Cooke, can they make something happen here? That is with Tia Maguire, decent carry. Amanda Morton looking to try and put someone away, and that has just gone forward out of Chloe McMorrin's hands. Tough moment there for Cooke, and Ballincollig breathe again. They have been on seems like a defensive last stand for the majority of this first 30 minutes. But again, in weather conditions like this, with a greasy ball and the wind being as direct as it is right now, it's difficult for them to get territory on the board. So the longer this game ticks on in the first half, the more confidence you feel Ballincollig will take. And I know this is a scrum moment here where they've had a few issues, but if they can get this clear, this will be a huge defensive moment for Ballincollig. And Cooke obviously will be looking to put a lot of pressure on the scrum here, as they have done for the majority of the game so far. You can just see the pressure Van Staden is putting through there as well. That's a huge scrum by Cooke, but they've done so well, Ballincollig, to get that. Tiara Siguenza, what a recovery at the back of that scrum, going backwards at a rate of knots. But here comes Heather Kennedy breaking away out of the 22. She's getting around the outside. This is outstanding running by Heather Kennedy. And she's just brought into... Is she brought into touch? No, she's kept that in field, and I think she has a penalty. Outstanding running out of the 22, deep in her 22 by Heather Kennedy. Absolutely outstanding. And Ballincollig have a good field position here now, and that ball is flying all over the place. It is greasy, it is difficult out there, but that is fantastic running from Ballincollig. There is no advantage accruing there, so it will go back to Ballincollig. Not rolling away. That was a fantastic break there by Heather Kennedy. Absolutely outstanding. So, can Ballincollig get field position here first of all? They haven't made touch. Very difficult in the conditions as well, but she'll be very disappointed with herself there. And there is a pressure on here in the backfield, but here comes Heather Kennedy again. She is an elusive runner, and she is getting free again. Absolutely outstanding stuff from Heather Kennedy. Ballincollig have that recovered, and they have a decent field position here now. That is a big carry by Ciara Fitzgerald. Really physical, really direct. Ballincollig looking to try and get their hands on the ball here for a while. Pennefather gets that ball into the backfield. That's a good kick, a very good kick, and that's landed with Alison Kelly, and she can offload that to Michelle O'Driscoll. And Ballincollig are really putting the pressure on here now. Can they get this ruck away? Clodagh Walsh, and there's a knock on there, and it's a penalty. Outstanding work there from Ballincollig. Heather Kennedy has had some huge plays in the last number of minutes, and it has brought Ballincollig all the way up to the just outside the Cooke 22. That has been outstanding. A really nice kick there by Jane Pennefather, who managed to get that crossfield kick really accurately over to Alison Kelly, who did really, really well. But this now, all of a sudden, with 5 minutes to go in the half and 14 players in the field, this is a huge opportunity for Ballincollig to make a big statement here right before half time. Again, the same principles that applied to Cooke down the field apply to Ballincollig here. It's going to be a difficult condition to try and get this line out in, but if Ballincollig can take this down, I think they've shown they have the ability to get that ball wide. And you look at Megan Kenny there in a really good position. She'll just be outside Pennefather there. They're looking to try and concoct something there, you feel. So this is going to be a massive opportunity for Ballincollig. Red alert here for Cooke. And I think when you look at how dangerous Heather Kennedy has been in the first 36 minutes of this game, really nice crossfield kick here again by Pennefather as it gets a nice bounce, but it's right into space, and that's superb stuff from Alison Kelly with a nice little offload as well off the ground. Really, really impressive stuff there. So now this is a huge opportunity for Ballincollig, who have been, for the most part in this game, on the back foot. So there is a big opportunity here for Ballincollig to take this down and start exerting some pressure on Cooke. And again, Ballincollig will have the wind in the second half. How important that will end up being remains to be seen, but I think when we look at the context of the game so far, I think that we can see some real opportunity here, and that's Van Staden just coming back on, looking like she was getting some treatment there. That'd be a big loss for Cooke if she were to go off injured, but she's playing on for the time being. Good line out take again by Ballincollig. Can they get set? That's a big break there by Roisin Norman, and she runs over one defender. Can she get over the try line? Oh, she's right on the try line. What a carry that was off the back of that maul. Ballincollig really pressing there now. Here comes Megan Kenny looking to try and impose herself there again, but good stout defence by Cooke. Ballincollig right on the try line there, and has it been knocked on? Oh, what an opportunity for Ballincollig, and it has just gone forward. The conditions coming back in again. What a game this is. No score so far in the first half, but what a carry that was by Roisin Ormond. Almost makes it to the try line, running defenders over. And another big carry here by Megan Kenny. But what a opportunity for Ballincollig that was. Just the width of a finger away from getting that over the try line. Absolutely outstanding defence from Cooke to keep those 2 big carries out. And then a little bit of luck with the knock on. But here comes Cooke again. Big scrum position now for Ballincollig, who can have a right cut off this one. But Cooke get that away. Stacey Sloan with a good carry and a good clean out there as well. So we're heading out into the last 2 minutes of this half now. Cooke right down on their own 5 metre line. Big carry there again by Aisling O'Connell. But she does well to recover that. That's some good tackling there by Orla Ray as well. Van Staden again. Siguenza had a right cut off that breakdown as well. And can Cooke get that away? They can, and that just evades the hands of Heather Kennedy, who is about as dangerous as they come on transition. So Ballincollig will have to put in here. This is coming up on, we're near enough to half time. Another opportunity here for Ballincollig to start imposing themselves on Cooke. After a really difficult first opening 35 minutes, Ballincollig have a big opportunity here, and that's another good line out. And they're going wide. Pennefather gets that to Kenny. Another really good carry there. Cooke looking to go after that breakdown. They don't get it. It comes back to Fairley. A counter ruck comes in there again, but Ballincollig recover. Really good field position here now. Weather conditions not getting any better here. Pennefather has a cut off that edge defence of Cooke, and she gets good gain line there. Feely here looking to try and get this one. She has it again, and the pass isn't great, and it's knocked on, and Emer Perryman won't be giving her too much thanks for that. But here we go. Cooke coming away on transition again. Oh my God, that's a really good carry and a lovely offload. Stacey Sloan gets that ball up the field. Really good kick. It's coming to Heather Kennedy. What can she do here in the backfield? Under pressure from Sloan. She beats 1 defender, beats 2 defenders, beats 3. She's heading into the 10 metre line. Can she get the offload away? She was looking for it, but she just didn't get it. Alison Kelly, and she cannot get the clear out. That is fantastic breakdown work there from Chloe McMorrin. Absolutely outstanding. And Cooke are going again, and they have another penalty. It is a back and forth game here, and Cooke are going quickly. Hannah Downey gets it away. There's Aisling O'Connell again with another big carry up the fringes. Oh, that's lovely. Van Staden to McGee. Oh, it's unlucky there. It's just gone forward. This game is back and forth. Both sides will be looking here at some big opportunities. So far, I think you look at Van Staden has been really good for Cooke, but look at this transition here, getting this ball across. A lovely offload here to Sloan. What a kick downfield this is. But when you look at Heather Kennedy here, her work on transition and counter-attack so far has been outstanding. Look at her telling her other backfielder, no, this is mine. And she beat 3 defenders there on her own. Fantastic work. But the job is not done here for Ballincollig. They are right down in their own 22 here, and as we've seen so far, the scrum has been difficult for them. Can they get this ball away and get it off the field? We can't be far away from half time here now, and I think Ballincollig, if they can get in here, get their Sinbin player back on the field, if they can get this ball off the field and get the half time 0-0 even with the wind in the second half, I think they'll be very, very happy. Cooke, I think they'll be quite frustrated with their first half. You look at how they played, the dominance they've had at set piece, the opportunities they've had like fantastic close range opportunities. I think looking at the way the game is played out, I think Ballincollig, if it can stay 0-0 to this point, will be the happier of the two teams. But this is the scrum coming up here, and as we've seen so far, Cooke have been very, very dangerous, especially on Ballincollig's put in, where they don't have to worry about striking the ball, they just have to worry about driving through the opposition. It looks like Stacey Sloan there, who's down getting treatment. she's been very impressive off the back of the scrum here so far. So here we go. I think the tactical changes that Ballincollig made in the first half were, I think they worked when it came to the scrum. They haven't conceded a whole ton of penalties there, and I think from here, I think Roisin Ormond so far has been really, really good when it comes to their to keeping Van Staden out of the game as much as she has been. So this is a big moment here coming up. We're very, very close to half-time, you feel. Ballincollig with the put in here, just outside their own 22. So here we go, big moment. Ray versus Van Staden. I know it's not just, it's 8v8, but that's a big battle going on there on the loose head side. And Van Staden's having a right crack there, but Ballincollig can get that ball away. Absolutely outstanding stuff there in the offload. Pennefather gets that away to O'Driscoll. And she's looking for Heather Kennedy. Why wouldn't you when she's been as dangerous as she has been in the first half? And Cooke looking to counter look there, but Ballincollig resist. Pennefather looking to try and beat that defender again. Good carry. Good breakdown work there again. That's Tiguenza. Ballincollig, I think, will be very happy with that scrum to manage to lock out. That was a big attack there from Cooke, but they just about managed to retain it. But that's a huge breakdown penalty. That is Sive McGrath again. That woman again. What a breakdown turnover that is. The strength over the ball. That's her second time so far, and she's been dangerous in the carry as well. Big game, and the weather conditions are worsening here in Tanner Park. Again, a huge opportunity now for Cooke coming up to the last few plays of this half, you'd feel. Tia Maguire gets that one off the field, and this is a big line-out opportunity here. So again, Van Staden, you look at McGee, you look at McCamley, the two main line-out targets for Cooke in this game so far. Can Ballincollig disrupt? Weather conditions getting even worse, the wind getting stronger, rain getting heavier. It's not going to get any easier. That's another early jump there by Ballincollig, and that'll be a free kick to Cooke. And are they going to tap and go? Yes, they are. Aisling O'Connell again, and there's an offside coming, you feel. Good carry again by O'Connell. Morton, lovely little dab through the middle there. Really good option. And Michelle O'Driscoll covers that one in the backfield. Nice variation there from Cooke. Morton, good little kick through there. Good execution, good idea. They have a penalty coming here. Offside. So again, if you're Cooke, close enough to the half as we are, they're going for the posts. So with the wind behind them, they're going to try and take a 3-0 lead here going into half time. Morton is going to stand over this one. Difficult enough conditions for kicking. The ground underfoot is going to be slippy. It's not going to be easy to try and land this close enough range as it is. Weather conditions make this difficult. Ballincollig, given the conditions they've played into, I think they'll be relatively happy with this. But for Cooke, this is an opportunity to convert what has been a half mostly of their pressure to a narrow lead. Amanda Morton lands it. It's 3-0 Cooke, and it's half time. A really nicely taken kick there in the conditions by Amanda Morton. And the halftime score here in Tanner Park is Ballincollig 0, Cooke 3. And we are ready for the second half here in a wet and windy Tanner Park. The stakes here could not be any higher for both of these teams. It is winner stays on. Whoever wins this game will keep going, get a conference spot. Whoever loses is done for the year. So huge stakes here in Tanner Park. Ballincollig 0, Cooke 3. It is as tight as they come here. And Morton gets this one underway again, and the weather conditions are very, very challenging, and that's exactly the start that Cooke would have wanted and exactly what Ballincollig didn't want. Unfortunate handling error there from Gillian Coombs, but we're back to the scrum where Van Staden has been the dominant player in this game so far, and as the weather gets worse and the wind gets more difficult, you feel this scrum is going to become more and more important as the game goes on. Put in here by Hannah Downey. What can Cooke generate off this scrum though? Van Staden having a right cut there, but Ormond standing up to her. Cooke are going. Here it comes into midfield. That's a nice pass there by McCormick, but it looks like it's not been knocked on. Ballincollig looking to try and counter-ruck there. They have been really dangerous in that area of the field all day, and they have got a turnover. And they're away. Roisin Ormond, good pick and go. Another jackal attempt there by Cooke. Oh, and the weather conditions. You can just see how difficult it is out there as well. That's an incredibly greasy ball. It's getting greasier every time it hits the deck. So that's an unfortunate handling error there by Ciara Fitzgerald. But a really good field position here from Cooke. Minute in, and this game, I have a feeling, is going to go right down to the wire. So here we go. Van Staden getting set again. Roisin Ormond started on the loosehead side, but she is transferred over. This has been a huge battle between these two players. Van Staden having a right cut there again, and Ormond is sticking right in there, doing a good job as well. Here's Morton getting that across to Kelly McCormick. Cooke retain possession here, and they're looking to try and make headway into a stiff breeze here again, but that's knocked on in contact there by Chloe McMorrin, and it's getting away there to that woman again, Heather Kennedy, who is an incredibly dangerous runner, and she is getting on the outside here, and she's looking for support on the inside. That's a really good tackle there. Really, really good tackle by Megan Edwards, and Ballincollig have good field position here just inside the Cooke halfway line. Coombs, big carry there, but she is met with a big tackle by Stacey Sloan. And Ballincollig are going again, and that ball is so difficult to handle out there, and it's been knocked on again. Another scrum here for Cooke, but it cannot be stated how difficult the weather conditions are here in Tanner Park. But that's Heather Kennedy again. Absolutely outstanding running, getting the edge there. Has no right to find that, but there she is. Really, really good tackle and covering tackle by Megan Edwards as well. So this game is very, very tight. Both sides here having a right cut off each other. Scrum again is being the most dominant factor. But from here, from Cooke's perspective, Hannah Downey's looking to try and get this one in. But you look at Fiona McCann. She has been a really good part of this Cooke scrum as well. Her ability to strike and stay bound to Van Staden is hugely important. She is putting huge pressure on that Ballincollig scrum. You can see it edging there. You can see it starting to get a little bit of an angle, but that's, again, decent scrum which you can get from Ballincollig there. And they're going to look for a penalty here, and they have it. Yep, that is Ciara Fitzgerald. Looks like she got caught on the wrong side there, but Cooke are going quickly. It's going to be very, very difficult for Cooke in this half to get any sort of length on their kicks downfield on any penalties they earn outside the 10-metre line. So for Ballincollig, their job defending here is going to be a little bit easier, but with the ball being as difficult to handle as it is, we're going to come back here for, I think it's a penalty for I think it's for number 10 there. I think it's a penalty for offside. Oh, for encroaching. So here we go. You look at this situation here now for Cooke. 3-0 up. They're going to go for a scrum here. It's any idea of kicking for goal in these conditions from this range, it's just flat out not going to happen. So you look at this situation for Cooke now again. I think they're just looking to double down on what has worked for them so far, which has been scrum and scrum dominance. Now, at the same time, they haven't got the sort of return from with regards to penalties, and you can see the wingers out on the wing are blowing on their hands, trying to keep them warm. You have no idea how cold and wet it is in Tanner Park right now. And if you're a winger in conditions like this, let's just say it's time for you to come in looking for work, maybe even in the scrum, see if they can do a job in there. It's much warmer in there, I can tell you that. So again, Van Staden against Roisin Ormond. What a battle this has been. So again, you saw in the last scrum, this one's starting to surge up on the loose head side as the hooker starts to creep around there. But you look at Ormond, really strong scrummaging there. She is sticking right in there on Van Staden, and that's another knock on. And Ballincollig here have an opportunity to counterattack. They've got Quaileen Healy on the field, but that's Heather Kennedy again. She is just beating defenders for fun. About as classic a counter-attacking fullback as you can get. Ballincollig have an opportunity to exit here, and you have to think in these conditions, kicking is the smart play. Here's Pennefather. And they're playing a lot of rugby in their own half of the field, and I think Cooke have a turnover there. That's Ciara Fitzgerald. That's going to go, it's a knock-on. So that is going to be a Ballincollig put in. So the first couple of scrums in this half, they have been Cooke's put in. And Roisin Ormond has done really, really well to stay out of, to keep Van Staden out of the game as much as possible. You can see she's keeping a really good low angle, and she's preventing her from getting that lift and drive in that has really, really hurt Ballincollig in the first half. So here, Van Staden and McCann, they don't really have to worry about striking for the ball. They will just be looking, as soon as that ball comes in, they are going to fly after this Ballincollig scrum. So this is going to be one where I think, again, we're going to see Tiara Siguenza under big pressure at the back. And you look at that put in, that pressure coming in from Cooke, and they get that away. And the ball is really loose. And that's a good carry there again. Opportunity for Ballincollig here in the weather conditions. You would think, are they going to look to try and get this ball down the field if they can? That's really good elusiveness there by O'Driscoll. Here's Fitzgerald. Really good breakdown work there from Ballincollig, but Cooke are coming right back in, counter-rucking. This is a slugfest. Coombs. Good carry there, right into Van Staden. And there's that woman, Sive McGrath again. But she mistimes at that time. There's no release in the tackle. McGrath has been so dangerous over the ball in the early going here. She's won 2 penalties in the first half. Close enough to winning one there again, but just got her timing wrong on the release. Here is a big carry again from Laurelie Baker. Gets right over the halfway line. That is good. And that's a huge counter ruck by Van Staden. Absolutely outstanding. And McCann is after turning that one over again. What a moment there from Van Staden. Huge counter ruck. And here is Gemma McCamley again, putting pressure on. Morton gets that across to Helen McGee. A lovely kick through into the backfield, but there's Heather Kennedy. Can she pick this up? There's Megan Edwards looking to put pressure, and there she's beaten him again. A huge moment again there from Heather Kennedy, and unfortunately she just can't keep the kick in field. That is gone out on the full. But again, I think Heather Kennedy showing how dangerous she is on transition there. Again, she has been hugely impressive in this game on transition when that ball goes into that backfield. She is beating defenders and a little unlucky with her kick through there. 48 minutes on the clock. Cooke with another good line-up position here. And one thing that might not pick up is how tiring these weather conditions are to actually play in. There's a lot of scrums, there's a lot of lineups, there's a lot of mauls. That's going to tire out your forwards. There's going to be a lot of scrummaging, a lot of lifting, a lot of mauling. That's going to play a factor in this game as it goes on. The impact of both benches are going to be hugely important. But here is a really good attacking platform for Cooke. Aisling O'Connell in the front of the line out there, looking like she's heading on a lift route. Gemma McCamley in the middle there. Is she going up? It's a decoy. Ooh, that's a nice little tap back there, but Ballincollig have won that one. And they're away again. Ciara Fitzgerald, really aggressive breakdown work there. Opportunity here for Ballincollig, who are looking to try and play this. Pennefather gets that ball into the layers. Good handling by Kenny, gets that across to O'Driscoll, but the assistant referee has a flag out here. And you can see Ballincollig are not afraid to play rugby here in these conditions. Like I think you'd imagine with the wind being as it is that they'd be looking to put that ball right down the field, but they're going to keep that ball in hand. And the assistant referee is having a word here. I think he's after seeing some foul play somewhere. But I think the story of this game so far has been the power of Cooke's set piece and just how dangerous Ballincollig have been in transition. A really kind of classic battle between, I suppose, the two traditional states of teams where you have one really good at set piece, one really good with ball in hand on counter attack. And referee having a word here with Gillian Coombs. Ref having a word here with Aisling O'Connell and Van Staden. Oh, a yellow card for Van Staden. For it looks like something off the ball there, but this is a huge opportunity for Ballincollig with the most dangerous scrummager that Cooke have on the field off for the next 10 minutes. This is a massive opportunity for Ballincollig now, playing against 14 to get some scores on the board. Remember, they're losing here. It's 3-0 to Cooke. Whoever loses this game is done until January. We're fighting over a conference place here. Ballincollig, Cooke. It's 3-0 Cooke, 51 minutes on the clock. But Ballincollig have a player advantage for the next 10 minutes. This is a key part of the game, you feel. Good line out there from Ballincollig, and they're looking to try and maul here. They've got an advantage in the forwards at the moment, number advantage, and they're looking to try and push that in. Good mauling there from Ballincollig. They're getting good ground. Cooke hanging on in there though, and that's a breakaway there. A breakaway, and Ballincollig have retained it. Mona Feely has it. Pennefather gets into the second layer. There's Heather Kennedy. She beats one defender. What a carry from Kennedy. She has been so impressive here. And Ballincollig have good momentum here now. That is gone wide to Alison Kelly, and she gets that off to Sinead O'Reilly. Ballincollig still have possession. Another good carry there by Laurelay Baker. That's a good clean out there by Emer Perryman. Really physical. Big carry again there by Orla Ray. Really strong stuff, but Cooke staying right in there as she knocked the ball on. It has been knocked on. That is very unfortunate. A big opportunity there for Ballincollig. Good work off that maul break. And again, Heather Kennedy beats one defender, beats two, and gets a huge metre gain there. That's really, really impressive again from Heather Kennedy. So here we are, the first scrum without Van Staden for Cooke. How will this play out? Again, we're 53 minutes on the clock. 3-0 Cooke. These are the types of positions here where I think you're looking for Ballincollig. You have to start exerting pressure on the scrum because Van Staden has been such a dominant player for Cooke. Now is an opportunity to get that, to get that edge back in the next 10 minutes. Because I think I spoke there earlier about the wear and tear, the exhaustion that comes in playing on a very heavy pitch like this. But if you look at Van Staden, she will have 10 minutes on the bench here, which I presume she will come back on in the aftermath. That is, again, if Cooke can resist this next 10 minutes and lock out these scrums, that is in itself an opportunity. And you look here what Cooke have done. Cooke have Sive McGrath in at loosehead prop. She's been really dominant over the ball here, and she is listed actually as a replacement prop and hooker for Cooke. And how's she doing here? She's actually done really well, but Ballincollig have got a right surge there on that, and I think if Cooke knocked it on, they have really good scrummaging from Ballincollig there. That's the first time I think I've seen Ballincollig in this game exert a bit of dominance, and that looked like it was Orla Ray there on the Ballincollig loosehead side exerting real pressure. Again, it shows the importance when you have an elite scrummager like Van Staden. When you take that player out, it can cause issues, and you can see the weather conditions getting worse here. Diagonal rain coming down. The wind is with Ballincollig here, even though it's kind of driving across the pitch. It does give an opportunity if you're Ballincollig here. This is like you can see here Megan Kenny there. You can see Michelle O'Driscoll. They are crying out for this ball. They see that there's an advantage in the outside, and I think if you're number 14 there, Sinead O'Reilly, I think you're thinking, is there a kick through coming here? Because she looks like there is. And again, look at the stable platform coming from that scrum there. That hasn't been there to now. Here's Heather Kennedy. She beats one defender on the outside, and that's a great last-ditch tackle. But Heather Kennedy is so dangerous on the ball. And here's Pennefather again. She gets a good carry. She doesn't just ship that ball on. Good work there from the Ballincollig number 10. And Ballincollig are pressing, but that ball is being knocked on. The weather conditions are so difficult here. Aisling O'Connell recovers there and gets that ball out. But where in the last couple of minutes you would imagine, or the last half, you would have looked at Cooke being happy enough to take that scrum. Now, I'm not sure they do. They want to get that ball out. And they're working it as hard as they can here. Remember, what applied to Ballincollig in the first half equally applies to Cooke in this half. The wind is blowing right into their face, so kicking is not an easy option from here. So they're going to try to run this as much as possible. And if you're Ballincollig, you commit a few extra numbers to that breakdown to try and pressurise them. But they're going to try and exit as best they can here. Morton gets that ball high up into the air. The wind takes it, but there's an offside penalty. That's an easy out there for Cooke. Ballincollig will be very frustrated to give away a penalty like that. But here is Tia Maguire now. Look, she's actually coming off the field. So there's a huge opportunity now here for Cooke to lift this territorial pressure they've been under for the last while. And the clock ticks on. 4 minutes of that sin bin remaining. And when you look at the stakes in this game, if you're just joining us, Energy AIL, round number 8, Ballincollig versus Cooke in Tanner Park. There is a lot on the line here for both sides. Whoever wins this game keeps going in the conference. Whoever loses is out. It's the top 8. This is a battle for the top 8. So the pressure is on here. Aisling O'Connell throwing this one in to the lineup while Van Staden is off the field, and it's not the prettiest throw going, and it is gone crooked. So here you have a opportunity now for Ballincollig to get that scrum working again. How the tables have turned here. In the first half, it was all Ballincollig, or all Cooke when it came to the scrum. Now Ballincollig are starting to exert some pressure of their own. On the tight head side here, you can see Roisin Ormond, who has really stuck in there since she switched over to the tight head side in the first half. She is ready to go here, and she's having a right pop off Sive McGrath, who is standing in for Van Staden. But that's some scrummaging there from Cooke, and they've got a huge nudge on there, but Ballincollig get that ball away. Here's Pennefather getting that to Kenny. That's in Heather Kennedy's hands again, and she is such a dangerous runner because she's so quick and elusive. She beats one defender, and that's a huge tackle in the backfield. Ballincollig have it again here, though. That is Quaileen Healy who keeps that ball safe at the breakdown. Ciara Fitzgerald, another really good carry, bounces off one defender, but that's a huge two-person tackle there. Pennefather, good carry, break right up the middle. A little window of space opened up there for Pennefather, and she had no bother having a cut off it. Here comes Coombs, gets that across to O'Driscoll again. Another really good carry. Good pressure here from Ballincollig, and they are really stretching Cooke here, who are down to 14. Feely. That's Lorelei Baker again. Good carry. Cooke go after the breakdown, but they just can't get it across. Pennefather gets that to Kenny. Kenny gets it across to Heather Kennedy. She beats one defender. She beats two. She slips out of the tackle. Oh, she just can't get that down. Here's Roisin Ormond. That ball comes flying out, but she just keeps a hold of it. Quaileen Healy with the latch behind her. It's a try for Ballincollig. Absolutely huge score there for Ballincollig. All coming from the break of Heather Kennedy. And here's the latch there. I think that's Pennefather. Latching. What a try that was. Absolutely outstanding. And a huge moment in this game. Ballincollig take a 5-3 lead with 1 minute 40 of that sin bin remaining, and we're just heading in to the last quarter. Huge try there. Quaileen Healy just on the field. Really, really big moment there. You look at that latch again there from Pennefather. Takes it at the back. Drives through 1-2 defenders. Absolutely outstanding. And when you look at your number 10 stepping in there for a latch, what a huge moment that is in this game. And in this AIL Division 1, as these two teams vie for that top 8 place. And we've got a conversion to come here from Alison Kelly. This is a big moment to take it outside of penalty range for Ballincollig on a really dirty day in Tanner Park. It's just hit the crossbar and it's back. It is 5-3 here in Tanner Park, heading into the last 20 minutes. This is tense as they come. Both sides here have so much on the line, and it is on a knife edge. Ballincollig with a 5-3 lead, and if you look at the far side of the field there, you will see that sin bin ticking down, and Van Staden will soon be coming back on the field, you feel, and Cooke will be back to 15 players. There's an injury in the backfield there. I think that is Jane Pennefather. And she's okay to continue. Huge player for Ballincollig in this game. She should qualify for an assist on that latch for that try, but they don't do that yet. You look at Fiona McCann there, just getting some treatment for Cooke as well. Coming into the last 20 minutes, I think the season on the line for both sides, there is a lot of pressure here, and I think for both sides now, it's about who can execute the pressure and who can stay cool and who can execute their skills. Morton gets that into the backfield. It's a difficult one to take. I think she's looking to try and get a knock on there, but you look at Michelle O'Driscoll, good carry there. Good breakdown work from Ballincollig as well. They're on their own 10-metre line here. That's Coombs, I think, again. Good carry. That's McGrath. She's been so dangerous over the ball, and she has conceded a penalty again. No release in the tackle by McCann. A couple of decisions going Ballincollig's way, and they're tapping and going here. There's Pennefather. She beats one defender on the inside. What a line break. Pennefather, she's beaten one defender. She's into the 22. Can she beat the last defender? Great tackle in the backfield by Cooke. Megan Edwards going in there to jackal, but Ballincollig still have it. That is Annie Laffin with the pick and go. That's Feely. Gets it across to Coombs. Big carry into the backfield by Rosie Normand. Looks like there's a player on the wrong side there, but Ballincollig are playing on. There's Laurelie Baker again, another really big carry. She has been so dominant on the balls that she's come on, and she's still going in onto the 5-metre line. Ballincollig with a huge opportunity now to take a big lead in this game in the conditions. Here's Feely. She goes to the blind side. Another really good carry by Coombs. That's gone across to Annie Laffin, and she is stopped just on the try line, and she's knocked it on. Cooke looking to transition here again. Really good. I like that was a really good tackle there by Kelly McConnell. It's gone wide again. There's a bit of a window of space there. There's an advantage over for a knock on. Aisling O'Connell gets that ball wide. She's played really, really well for Cooke here today on in that tight head jersey, and it's knocked on. And that's back on the Ballincollig side again. Here is Orla Ray, another big carry. Ballincollig putting real territorial pressure on here now. Here comes Feely. She goes herself, and there's an advantage coming for Ballincollig. This feels like a huge moment in this game. There's a try scorer, Quaileen Healy, and a crossfield kick. That ball could go anywhere. And Cooke just about hang on. Really good option there to kick that one. With these weather conditions and the field being so heavy, That is a really good play option there from Cooke. And you look here, a big carry by Annie Laffin and a huge tackle there. I think that's Stacey Sloan. Just knocks the ball on. Huge moment there. Massive physicality in this game. Here comes Feely. Lorelei Baker. She has been so dominant on the ball, and she's still going. Cooke looking to try and hold her up. They've got underneath her. Can she get that down? It's on the try line here. It's held up. That's a huge moment. A huge moment by Cooke. They are hanging on to their season here by their fingertips. Massive defence there on Lorelei Baker. And she is so powerful on ball. Really good carry there. And Cooke breathe again. Amanda Morton has to come back. There's a referee, or an assistant referee has his flag out over here. So we're going to come back. Tense moments here in Tanner Park. That was really, really impressive stuff there by Cooke, looking to hold out. A massive surge by Ballincollig. And I think we're all waiting to see here what the assistant referee, what he is telling the ref, because this is an important moment. You look here again at that defence. Last ditch stuff by Cooke, who just about hold that up. Really good stuff there again. That looked like Stacey Sloan involved. And the assistant referee has said his piece. We're going back to the referee for the decision now. I think both sides looking at this with a massive amount of interest, given the position on the field. At the moment, it's a goal line dropout. But we're going over to the other assistant referee now. So I think they seem to be arguing, or not arguing, but putting their points over that, was that ball taken back in goal? Are we looking actually at a 5-metre scrum to Ballincollig? So really tense moments here. You can feel we're still here. The clock is off, obviously, but we're looking at these next couple of minutes here, given the scoreline, given the intensity of this game and the position. This is a massive moment in this contest. Here comes the decision. Referee explaining it to Aisling O'Connell. Looks like this ball is going back to Ballincollig. It's a penalty to Ballincollig. Huge moment in this game. They get possession back on the try line. You can see Van Staden is back on the field there as well. These are the crucial moments you feel in this game as we head into the final 15 minutes, more or less. Feely has it. She's tapping and going here. That's a big carry again by that's Fitzgerald. Another big tackle by Stacey Sloan, who has put herself about so much today, and that ball has come back on the Cooke side. But have Ballincollig? The Ballincollig have just about retained. There's Coombs again at the tail of that rock, and she is so powerful. There's Baker again on the latch. Another big shot in defence there by Cooke. This is last ditch stuff here. There's Pennefather looking to get that ball wide. There's Kenny. Another big tackle by Megan Edwards. Ballincollig still have possession. They're right on the 5-metre line. Pennefather gets that ball across to Heather Kennedy. Can she score that try in the corner? She can! What a try for Ballincollig. And Heather Kennedy has deserved that score. Absolutely outstanding stuff. There's Pennefather, gets it across to Kennedy, and she is so elusive and powerful. She scores what could be a crucial try in this season for Ballincollig. Absolutely outstanding stuff. And I think you look at the last couple of minutes, the value of territory in this game cannot be understated. It is so important. And you look at the scoreboard now, 10 points to 3 with the conversion to come by Alison Kelly. This is setting a bit of a mountain to climb for Cooke in the conditions. At the moment, There is a converted try in it. If Ballincollig can land this score, and we're talking about roughly around 15 minutes to go, then this will be a very difficult hill for Cooke to climb, into the breeze, into the rain. This is a huge moment in this game. Alison Kelly to try and convert this for Ballincollig. Just wide. It's 10-3. Cooke with the kickoff here. This is a massive moment in the game now on this kickoff. If you're Cooke, I think what you've seen so far with Van Staden, an outstanding scrummager back on the field after her sin bin. This is the moment now where I think if you're Cooke, you want to get a lot of territory on this restart. Get that ball deep into the Ballincollig half and make them play from deep and look to try and force a turnover. And that's a really good carry again by Roisin Ormond, who has been outstanding in this game in both the scrum and in the loose. There's that woman, Heather Kennedy, again, who's incredibly dangerous, and she gets over the try line, or over the halfway line again. Had no right to make those kind of meters. Outstanding. There's Feely looking for the offload. She gets that away to Healy. There's Feely again, gets that to Pennefather. Big carry there by Claire Coombs. Feely has it again. Great field position here for Ballincollig, and there's Pennefather. She spots a gap. She goes right through the middle and offloads away into the corner. There's Alison, and it's just knocked on. It is just knocked on. That was the game right there. Huge moment. And you look at Pennefather, spotted that gap, went right through it. Lovely little offload there. And Alison Kelly, the ball just does not stand up for her. That was a big moment. Cooke living right on the edge here now, with the floodlights popping on here in Tanner Park. So Cooke have around 10 minutes left in this game. They are currently camped on their own 22. They are a converted try back. Season on the line for both teams here. Ballincollig have had a really good comeback in the second half. They were 3-0 down at the half, but again, I think we're coming back here to the referee. It seems there's an injury. If you're Cooke here now, I think you look at the scrum opportunity this presents, the dominance that Cooke have had in the last, I think over across the whole game when it comes to the scrum, with Van Staden on the field certainly. There's a big opportunity here for them to get this ball up the field as far as they can, and it's so difficult in these weather conditions, so difficult to kick, so difficult to get any sort of purchase on the ball, and territory is so important here. So here we are. Cooke making some changes. It is incredibly cold in Tanner Park. You can just see there how bundled up people are. It is not easy playing in these conditions, that's for sure. Both sides have struggled, as I think most sides would in a relatively heavy pitch here, and you can see some of the outside backs are doing shuttle runs to try and keep warm. Very outside back like behaviour there. So here we go. Big scrum here coming up for, and that's Stacey Sloan coming off there. She has been outstanding for Cooke in this game. Really tight contests here. Really good stuff. Really good contest to watch. But this feels like a big moment, even though it's a scrum in Cooke's half of the field. Georgia Boyce is putting this one in for Cooke. And Van Staden up against Ormond, and we're going to have a reset. This is a huge moment. Like, you look at the dominance, I suppose, that Van Staden has shown here, and how Roisin Ormond has stuck in so well to kind of keep her scrum dominance under control to a certain extent. And Ballincollig here are exactly where they want to be, and they want to try and keep Cooke as hemmed into this area of the field as they possibly can. Georgia Boyce putting this one in here now, and what can Cooke produce from here? Pressure coming up on that outside from Ballincollig, but that's a really good carry. That's Helen McGee there, good carry, and another carry here by Aisling O'Connell, who has been looking for work all day long. That's a huge counter ruck there by Gillian Coombs, and it's just knocked on again. So we are back. Another scrum launch here. And this is where, if you are Cooke, you kind of don't want the clock to be ticking on here as much as it is, because they are a converted try behind on the clock. If you're Ballincollig, you're happy enough with everything that's happening right now. You've got the wind at your back, the rain at your back, and you're looking at Cooke and going, what can you produce from here? So what can Cooke produce from here? Van Staden lining up against Ormond here. This is where so much of this game is played out, on this loose head side for Cooke, and that has gone out to the back there again. There is Helen McGee. She has gone into number 8, and that ball has gone knocked on, and that has gone over to Ballincollig side again. Helen McGee is in that number 8 spot to replace Stacey Sloan, who's gone off. That feels like a big moment. Cooke needed to get that ball up the field as much as they can, and now Ballincollig have a scrum opportunity of their own here. It's smart play here to just take as much time as you can in this moment. The referee seems to have the clock off here, but now we're getting ready to go. Now again, if you're Cooke, they're getting ready to scrummage here. They need to get as much of a shove on this scrum as they possibly can. They don't have to worry about striking the ball. All they have to do is worry about pressurising the strike of Annie Laffin here in this Ballincollig scrum, and look to try and generate something out of this moment. Here's the put in. The ball is in. It's struck to the back. Really good strike there by Annie Laffin. And Tigwenza gets that away, and Ballincollig are rolling now. Here comes Kenny. Almost there by Helen McGee. She almost gets that turnover, and it's gone into the backfield again. That is all backwards. Good pressure here by Cooke. They are desperate to get that ball back. Here's Pennefather. Gets that across to O'Driscoll. Here's Heather Kennedy again. She is so dangerous with the ball in hand. She's on the outside of Megan Edwards there. Can she get that down? No, it's on the 5 metre line. Here comes Feely again. Ormond. Ballincollig, they can smell the win right here. Here's Pennefather. Can she find a window of space? No, she runs into Van Staden. Another big carry there again. It is right. It is last ditch defence stuff here. There's Van Staden again, and they just hold out Ballincollig, who are camped on the try line here. There's Laurel Baker, and she is so difficult to put down. She has got it down. What a try by Laurel Baker. Huge power. Absolutely unstoppable from that range. Look at this carry. Unbelievable power. What a finish. Just shucks off Christy Hill. Really good stuff there from Laurel Baker. What a score, and that feels like a massive moment in this game, in this league for Ballincollig, who take a 15-3 lead, and we're heading in to the last few minutes of this contest, and this is in makeable distance for Ballincollig, and Alison Kelly will be standing over this again. Cooke are stating their case, but the referee isn't interested. That is a huge score in the contest of this Energia AIL Division 1 Women's League here. Unbelievable finish to this game. The tension. A real slugfest, and that feels like a massive moment for Ballincollig. It's just wide by Alison Kelly. So we're into the last 5 minutes, and it is a mountain to climb for Cooke if they want to keep their season alive here. That's Jane Pennefather, who has had a really good game for Ballincollig here. More than willing to get that ball wide, but she can spot a gap and get after it as well. It is a massive moment here. Cooke needs something on the next play. Have to get it. That's the pressure of this Energia AIL. There really is nothing like it. And when you look at the context of this game now, coming up on the final whistle, it seems that this game could well be Ballincollig's. It would take something miraculous from here, but we've seen this happen in this league For Ballincollig, it's all about retaining this kickoff and getting that ball up the field as far as they can. The weather has played a huge factor in this game from the first whistle on. I think that Cooke will look at that 20-minute spell in the first half where they really struggled to get this territory advantage over the line. That last-ditch defensive stand by Ballincollig, and I think that's the last act of Jane Pennefather's game here. She has been outstanding for Ballincollig, and Amanda Morton gets that into the backfield, but it's gone out into touch. A big ask for Cooke here. There's the captain, Aisling O'Connell, who has been a warrior for Cooke today. A lot of warriors out there. Van Staden, as good as anybody. You look at Sive McGrath, who's been outstanding as well. But Ballincollig, when it came down to executing, we're just a little bit sharper, and we're kind of heading into the dying moments of this game now, and Ballincollig are right where they need to be. They have the ball, they have them all, and it's moving forward. Cooke looking to make something happen here, but it looks like Ballincollig, that's a big counter shove coming in from Cooke there. They need something out of here if they can get a turnover here. That ball has gone to ground, and it's on the Ballincollig side. No, it's come back on the Cooke side. It is stuck in there, and Cooke have it. And they are looking to play, and they're playing into a huge breeze with a wet, greasy ball, and that ball's gone backwards. They still have it. Cooke have to score here, you feel. They really do. That's a big carry. Stout defence from Ballincollig, who just have to hang on here, you feel. There's Georgia Boyce looking to dig that ball out. There's Morton. Another big carry there by Cooke. Boyce has it again. And another big direct carry there by Gemma McCarmley. Boyce, Morton, looking for action on the outside. Megan Edwards closed off there. Good defence and positional defence, and that's a huge turnover by Roisin Ormond, who has been an absolute game winner for Ballincollig today in the scrum, and they're over the ball at the breakdown. Outstanding defence, and that would seem to be it in this game. Ballincollig get that ball off the field, and that, you feel, was the last few moments of Cooke's season. Really strong defence by Ballincollig, and Cooke have been so brave here, so gutsy away from home in these weather conditions. They will look back at those last couple of minutes of the first half as being a killer for them, but Ballincollig's defence won them this game, and Ciara Fitzgerald has taken that ball at the line out. Ballincollig are right where they want to be now. Michelle Stafford got that away. Oh, and there's a fly hack coming through here. Sinead O'Reilly needs to pick this up for Ballincollig, and she has, and she's evaded. That's a huge tackle by Van Staden. She's driving her back. Cooke are not done here. They are still firing shots in this game, and there's again another slugfest going on at that breakdown. Ballincollig still have it. That's a big carry there again by Denise Redmond. She's been really active in the cold face today for Ballincollig, and there's a big shot coming through there at the breakdown. This is really hard stuff here in these weather conditions. Both sides leaving absolutely everything out there. Huge counter-hooking coming through again from Van Staden, putting huge pressure on that recycle there, and Ballincollig get that away. It's kicked away by Michelle O'Driscoll into the backfield, and there's Amanda Morton. No, there is Dolores Hughes, excuse me, and she's getting that ball away. Cooke really needs something here. They need to get this ball into space, but that's great defence by Alison Kelly there again. But Cooke are away, and they are looking for a window. They are not finishing this game as far as they're concerned. As long as the referee has not blown, they are continuing to go, and that's a big aggressive carry there. A penalty. Hands on the floor. Big moment here for Cooke. They need to get in with the referee to see how much time they have left here to try and make something happen. I mean, they're 2 scores back. So now, here's Cooke. Here's Fiona Hayes on the sideline. So here we go. Big moment here for Cooke. Need to take this line out down. For Ballincollig, I mean, there is Not much tactical need here to be overly aggressive here in this line-out, except the weather conditions being as difficult as they are. You can see there how difficult the rain here is, and how much of a factor it's been. Van Staden throwing here into this wind and looking to try and take this one down for Cooke. There's McGee again, and that ball is crooked. It has gone away off to the side, and that's a big moment lost there for Cooke. And now we're back to this scrum again, which has really been the deciding factor in this game for me. Roisin Ormond still in the field, absolutely outstanding she has been. Some of the scores from elsewhere in the Energy AIL. It's finished Blackrock 79, Suttonians 0 up in Stradbrook. So a big dominant win there for Blackrock, who will be a real threat in the top 4 this year of the Energy AIL. Some of the talent they have at their disposal. But that ball's come back on Cooke's side of the scrum here. And that's a right battle on the floor there, and Ballincollig have just about come out on the right side of it. Referee is checking his watch. There is Sarah O'Donovan getting some goal forward. And Aisling O'Connell is still there, still fighting for everything, as is Van Staden. And she is unlucky to give away the penalty there. There was no release in the tackle. Here comes Michelle O'Driscoll. Very elusive again. Cooke now have got to go safeties off at the breakdown. They are looking for any sort of turnover that they can get. And that's a huge, huge run by Denise Redmond. She is so difficult to bring down. The ball carrying from Ballincollig in this second half has been so impressive. Michelle O'Driscoll gets that ball and she puts it right out. And that is it. A massive win for Ballincollig, who keep their season alive. Unlucky for Cooke, who were really, really brave here. But that second half performance from Ballincollig was so strong. 15-3 it's finished here at Tanner Park. A huge win. And thank you very much for joining us at this Energy AIL Women's Division game, round number 8. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon.